Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play People's General. General Ling and his PLE forces have now come a long way since they started out in Russia, Far East, and they have traveled along the Trans-Siberian Railway, capturing the objectives along the way. I think all the objectives that were worth capturing probably would have been at least in Siberia, all along that very extensive railway. And the Chinese forces have obliged to, follow it, and they have arrived a few episodes ago at Chertonbay, at the foot of the base of the Ural Mountains, and yeah, got Chertonbay and Uralmash, and before that it was Irkutsk at the Lake Baikal. I mean, it's really interesting to know all the different places in central Russia that I really didn't have any knowledge of beforehand, but now I have a little bit of inkling of idea. Kind of educational in a way. On the last mission, he was at Kazan. I don't know whether Kazan is it's a big city, but I don't know whether it's a stop along the railway. I think I didn't check this. I apologize, but I think it goes to some other place situated north of Kazan. But Kazan, I'm sure it is connected, given its prestige as a very populous city, and its third capital, Russia, is connected by railway and of course the highway. In Kazan, General Ling, well, the first turn was quite tense. He lost a helicopter and a number of air defenses. However, after that, I think the PLA had a better time in crossing the Volga, establishing the bridgehead, and clearing up the last remnant of the objectives that the Russians had. Because they only had conscripts in each of the objectives, so didn't really have a lot of trouble after that. And although General Ling was not able to complete the brilliant victory, I think he was a few turns short of reaching that brilliant victory, but he was able to achieve a victory on a good note, on a note that convinced me not to restart the mission, although my commenter Felix has suggested that I do, because I lost, a huge substantial part of the prestige percentage that makes up the army. You can check, for example, this unit, which is the best tank that I have. You can see the amount of prestige you require to get a unit of similar strength. I believe that this is around 500 prestige when you purchase it without any kind of experience. But if you see here, you can see that this costs around 686. So yeah, everything's a bit different if you check. Right, this tank is 492, so I don't know how they actually calculate all this, whether the experience level has something to do with it. I think it does, and look at this guy. This guy has performed greatly 2 times at Irkutsk and was honored as such. And let's see. Yeah, so this infantry was able to survive, perform pretty well at where was that? Kazan, yeah. So we lost a helicopter. That's too bad, but my prototype helicopter with a few good stats going for it was able to survive, particularly because that I shut it down for a while before I was able to really make sure that this will not be destroyed in any kind of operations. It had a last shot at destroying the Russian helicopter, which was stricken in a way, but wasn't able to finish it off. And actually this particular helicopter model is not really, designed to attack other helicopters. There is a helicopter that costs a bit less, that is more capable in air-to-air combat. Yeah, so fortunately the artillery survived, and I think I'm going to, I also got a leader for artillery, which is very good because this trait definitely works for this particular unit type or class. Might have to think about upgrading this to PLZ 45 to maximize the effectiveness, but we have to see the map and plan based on what the map presents to us. The recons all survived, very surprising, and quite frankly, I don't know, I didn't really give any chance of them actually doing anything, but they were able to also get some experience points along the way. Oh yeah, air defense. Look at this air defense. You know that I was very scared of further air missions from the Russians. And you can see how many units I purchased. I'm sure they purchased at least 4 air defense units, including these 2 HQ-7s and the Tunguska reinforcement. Yeah, you can definitely see from that because, you know, they don't have the attachment. Couldn't afford the attachment for them when I brought them in. Yeah, I have to decide whether to exchange them or to upgrade them. But that all has to come after I have a gander at the map. So let's do that. So Astrakhan, yep. This is the place, and wow, okay. I'm sure that I think you have noticed that the brilliant victory condition is also 8 turns, as always. I think that's not going to change until the end of the campaign. Here we start out, you can definitely see a lot of rivers here because this is, it says lake, but it's actually Caspian Sea. And Caspian Sea, well, I mean, it's called a sea, but I guess some people could call it a lake, which would make this the largest lake in the world. And you can see all the little lakes and little streams that are going through this region. That's going to make the progress of the army very difficult unless we attach to these units, every one of them in fact, at least for the tanks and infantry, breaching attachment for them to cross this barrier with relative ease. So I probably would have to do that. Okay, so let's see. This is Chertonbay, the place we have to go through, and also this is another objective, Volshaya Safonovka. And after we capture here, I don't think we should split the forces, at least until we reach Chertonbay. And then we should, you know, just follow the road here and then make the crossing to this airfield. I think at Chertonbay we need to split the forces up. The majority, the lion's share, going to west, then south, Astrakhan. And I mean, Astrakhan is a big city. I think around 400,000 people or so live here. It's a, you know, capital of the Caspian. This entire oblast itself is named Astrakhan, so yeah, this is a major city in the area. It's really known for, from what I remember, caviar from the sturgeons living along these streams. I'm sure that the industry is very developed. Yeah, after capturing Astrakhan, yeah, I need to go further south and, you know, clear this up. This is a coastal area, so I was wondering whether we'll be coming from the coast once again, just like in Irkutsk. Not this time. I think we are just taking a bit of a I think we were in Kazakhstan. I don't know how it really worked, but we progressed. The General Ling's army progressed south, perhaps going into Kazakhstan, turned around and have situated itself on the coast, making the Russians divide up their forces between defending against the Volga, the forces that are still on Volga. They have now crossed Volga, and now the forces in the south, near Astrakhan. Yeah, so probably we have to divide up my forces here. And yeah, one goes south and the other goes just to the main objective of Astrakhan. Alright, so I need to check. Finally, air missions. Now this is, wow, this is going to be a problem, 30%. Oh yeah, this is going to be very bad for Chinese because at least in the first few turns we can expect huge air presence from the Russia. So we need to make sure that we bring enough anti-air, aircraft-based anti-air, in fact, and have to whether even think about, for the first time in this campaign, adjusting the air superiority slider so that we at least go into this battle even kill, like even strength in terms of air strength. So yeah, now that we have looked at the map, let's go back and see what you can do. We need to change some of these. Yeah, we need to change a lot of this. But first of all, let's see if we can bring in some... No, let's just start up with this air mission. Air superiority slider. So we are at 30%. Let's see what we can do. How much does it cost to bring it to 50? 400? 400 means that it's either this to make it even or 4 anti-air defenses. I remember the aircraft-based anti-air costing around 100 a pop. I honestly don't know what to expect. So 400 seems to be a hefty price, but not really a good idea to leave this at 30%. So we can go all the way up to make sure that no Russian airplane is going to enter into the space above Astrakhan. But it's going to cost 1400. Very cool, 1400 prestige. Yeah, I think it's going to just throwing away the potential that we have in expanding our force or upgrading our forces, so that's not going to be good. 600. 500, maybe I can leave it 500 because that is worth a good tank. Type 99 tank. Let's see. Well, let's try that. And if I were to fail this mission, maybe I will think about increasing it further. So yeah, we have spent that. And you know, I don't think I can afford a helicopter in this mission. Let's just go ahead and requisition some anti-aircraft, anti-air. Let's see. Or we can upgrade our existing anti-airs, but yeah, this guy has experience, which is interesting. This guy very lucky because air defense are the units that are first targeted by the air missions, and the wild weasels just decimate them. But let's see what I can do. Yeah, so these are the two main anti-aircraft, anti-air. I think this one also. Gopher, and this one costs a bit more. This costs a lot more. I don't know whether this is any effective compared to this one, which I can just... Wait a second. Oh, because I have added this, it goes up by 80. Yeah, that's true, but I don't know if I can actually afford those with attachment. I just go with the numbers instead of quality. Quantity over quality. So yeah, I think these are far more effective, but these can cover a whole lot more space. So I need to bring in at least, let's just say I can bring in 3 of these guys. And let's bring in one here more. And all the other ones that I have, like HQ, has 0 experience points. I can probably, well, you know, I have 1200 prestige points still, so let's see if I can expand in other areas as well. One thing that I really like is to bring, let's see, maybe an airborne. Yeah, I think I will bring one of these guys, or even maybe something cheaper that can be transported by helicopter. I don't see anything that could be except for the airborne. Yeah, I always thought that these guys were the paratroopers, but no. Let's see, let's check recon. Well, I think we have enough recon. Another tank. I can upgrade this tank, but that has to come later because this is requisition. Okay, what is this? Oh my goodness! I can bring in Russian units this time. Wow, this is great. I don't know how these guys measure up. This is the T-99, that is the best tank that Russians can have, or... Yeah, the Chinese general at the end of, I think, 2 missions ago, talked about, you know, getting Uralmash, which is the manufacturing center for the Russian armed forces, and maybe that is now in operation for the Chinese. But I don't know how this would work. Let's see if they have better ones. Wow, this is actually way better. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, they are... Oh, okay, so let's just check. Can I check? No, I cannot... Oh, I think I can check right now. Yeah, I can check right here, 12. So this is the one that I have. Let's see, so 6, it loses out in the range. Ah, okay, this is the... I see. So this is a bit better, attacking the airplanes directly. Yeah, but otherwise it is the same. So, okay, so this might be not attacking airplanes, but from the airplanes' attacks, it can defend better. I think this is worth, yeah, the 10 extra cost. So I guess I bring in these guys instead of the S-300. Okay, so I should have known this beforehand, but it's surprising. Let's give this all the way back to where it came from. Alright, so Grumble it is. Yeah, Grumble. 3 of them. Yeah, it's really strange to see the Russian units, but you know, it adds a bit more flexibility of what I can do. And this is the Matisse. I think we have faced this near Irkutsk. Has a pretty good amount of ammo and a pretty decent amount of hard attack ability, and this was a really pain to deal with when I had to go up against them. Well, the defense kind of suffers, but otherwise this is a pretty discreet unit. Maybe I can make use of this. Yeah. Alright, so artillery. So the Russian artillery probably is very good as well, and maybe cheap. How much does this cost? Well, it doesn't really tell you because I have to check in the Chinese version. 390, 370. The Russians are 360. So yeah, it's similar. Yeah, I think I'm not going to be losing out. And many of these guys are not capable of the breaching. So 8590 is ideal guys here. I wonder maybe if I can add a breaching attachment to this guy or downgrade to 8590. But yeah, let's leave it at that for now. And infantry, oh, Russian Marines, oh, they're pretty, yeah, they're pretty fearsome. Let's compare to the airborne. I mean, they're not the same, but they have a similar stat. And they're good against almost anything. And I think they are supported by organic transport. That's why they can travel. And they're amphibious. So that is another feather in each cap. Very useful. Yeah, there's no amphibious guys here. Yeah, they are. I mean, these guys can actually, cross rivers, but infantry, yeah, I don't know how much it costs the Russian Marines, but they might be pretty useful. 160, only that. Wow. Yeah, I'm sure that I'd make a pretty good use of this, so let's bring one. And only one unit for recon. I guess Russians are not really fond of reconnaissance around their countryside. I guess they know it like the back of their hands. Yeah, the T-99 aforementioned tanks, they're pretty cheap for what they give, right? I think they are pretty economical options. So, I mean, it's between 99 and 92 in terms of prestige cost. It does give you a bit more hard attack. It suffers, I guess, in terms of its mobility, perhaps. I do have a tank that I can compare to right here. Let's see. Yeah, it suffers, oh, not 90, but T-99. Let's see, it doesn't really suffer a whole lot. But if you want to bring in with like all this, yeah, along with the veterancy, it's going to cost a pretty penny, or pretty prestige. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I just rather get, Chinese tank if possible. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of tempted to bring in one of these, but it's going to be the same price anyways, 496 and 509. So I'd rather have a bit more defense for 10 extra prestige. And yeah, finally, I'm really interested in what the Russians have in terms of helicopters. And these guys are it. Ka-50 Werewolf, which is basically what the Chinese have been using. I think they are at the same prestige. Havoc, this one really gave me a lot of trouble. And this definitely supports that. Yeah, huge hard attack rating, pretty decent rating against the helicopters, and defense as well from the ground and other air attacks. But they're really expensive. Yeah, look at that. 1100. I cannot afford it as it is. I think these are probably the same as what the Chinese have. Of course, this one's a bit better because this is a prototype unit. The Chinese have improved upon the designs. This one is very tempting, but I wonder if I have access to Russian units from now on, or at least we are involved in the Russian campaign. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar, but this one's a bit better in terms of self-target attacks. And I really think that I cannot bring in any more helicopters. Well, let's see. So should I bring in one of these guys? Maybe I should upgrade what I have. Okay, let's see. 90, I have 290 tanks. So maybe if I upgrade both of them, how much does it cost? Let's see. 90 to 99 cost 65. Not bad, not bad. And I think it's going to have the veterancy carry over to the U unit. Pretty cool. And how about if I add River Assault, 145, I can live with that. And same as this guy, the upgrade to 65, well done last time. And add the, yeah, River Assault, 60 and plus 80 is 145. I can live with that also. Well, these guys I think need to, yeah, trade its anti-tank capability to River Assault, all of them. And I have, I'm thinking about whether to give this guy, Street Fighter, a bit better ratings provided by the Type 5. As you can see, each combat, close combat has better ratings. I mean, it's twice as good. The Street Fighter basically means that it's going to use these abilities when it's going into the hex to fight the infantry or the entrenched element within the city hexes. So I think this might be worthwhile to upgrade this Street Fighter to Type 5, although it's going to trade, the trade-off is going to be the loss of movement and I guess general attack values, but I think it's worthwhile to try it, and I think that veterans will carry over so I can even overstrength after I have upgraded to the unit. I don't think it's an upgrade, but then given the trade of this guy, rather special, maybe it can be considered as an upgrade. And 54, not bad, along with the River Assault. Alright, and this guy now is going to go back. And I'm going to get 54 prestige back. So let's just, yeah, get this prepared for the River Assault. How about this guy? Yeah, I have this guy also, this prototype. Right. I think River Assault will be very handy for this guy because the movement is already handicapped somewhat. So let's do that. Yeah, I still want some defense against air, and maybe if I kind of mix in occasional anti-tank specialist like this guy, then I think this will be versatile tank force that I can bring in without worrying about losing or the tank force being stranded because of the rivers. This guy also, yeah, needs this. Alright, so Metis, can you cross the water? You can actually use the helicopters. Maybe I can use that. Yeah, I think this might not be really needed. Alright, these guys all have Type 85 90s, have River Assault capability. Pretty nice. Maybe I should upgrade this to 89. Yeah, 85 90, sorry. Alright. And this guy, yeah, will probably need to downgrade a bit. Yeah, he already has, I think, special munitions. So let's downgrade, or maybe if I do not include it, I get 26, but I'll be spending 54. Okay, so this is the difference. Right, okay. Alright, so, yeah, I think that would be pretty good trade-off. And if I want to add air defense, but let's see what kind of prestige is left after I go through all this. Yeah, so but River Assault would be not needed. Yeah, it's either special munitions to increase the ability to attack the soft target, and also the anti-air attachment. But let's delete that for now and see what we can do here. These guys all have River Assault, so no problems there. And how about these guys? I mean, these guys have pretty good movement range, except for this guy, but no matter because it has 6 range. Maybe I should upgrade this to Russians. But I can't because there's no crossover between the Chinese to Russian unit. And same here, yeah, it automatically goes to the Russian side of things. That's that. Alright, so LY60. Should I upgrade this or downgrade this or whatever? Do I want more range or a bit more, I guess, versatility? Because against the helicopters that is, and more defense. Maybe I should just leave this at that. Alright, so no... Well, I can add certain attachment to the air defense, such as combat support. Let's see... Do they have any experience that I can actually go after? Well, not really, so let's go back to that. River Assault, everybody has River Assault. except for this guy, but engineers really... Well, I don't know. The bulk of my infantry has river assault, so no worries there. Marines, yeah, they have, of course, amphibious ability, so I think that kind of covers that. Alright, so let's see the overstrength. What we can do in terms of squeezing a bit more power out of our existing units. I guess I can give some of these guys the... Okay. Alright. So how about the artillery? The artillery, I think, is going to... yeah, I think it'd be pretty good to have some overstrength artilleries, and of course I'm going to give special attention to this... Well, not this guy, sorry. The leader artillery. Where are you? Oh, this guy. Already overstrength. Okay. Yeah, it's all set and ready to go into the battle. The air defense is... Well, I mean, yeah, all the overstrengthable units have been overstrength. Maybe I should give overstrength to this guy as well. Oh yes, the infantry, very important. I think some of these guys... Is this the influence guy that I can... Yeah, I can basically increase these guys to 20 now without ever... Wow, 21? Wow, 23? What is going on here? So there's no limit how much overstrength I can give at no prestige cost. So I thought that it only goes up to the limit of the experience it has, which is, you know, 300. But I just can't give this guy the maximum appearance of +8. I think it's +6, but I increased to 23, which means that starting from 15, I have given this guy one strength of 8. Very impressive, and this guy is all ready to go. And that basically compensates for the lack of prestige that I have, that I can give to the other guys. This guy. So it takes off around 20, or... No, I think it takes off a lot. Excuse me, you're taking a bit more prestige than I would be willing to give to you. 23, 21, I guess give this guy another... Yeah, and I think I can give only one more, which is too bad. But that is going to be it, and the airborne probably is going to be needing one, and that is it. Alright, so this is the army that I'm going to bring. A lot of the river assault capabilities. Owing to the fact that this map is full of rivers and other lakes and whatnot, and going to be coming into Astrakhan with this force. Hopefully it's going to work out. The success and the failure of my preparation will be pretty apparent by the end of the first turn, because that is where the Russians really like to bring everything they can in the first turn, maybe to dissuade the Russians to, you know, cross a certain river or something. But that's what they like to do. So by the end of the first turn, for both Chinese and Russians, it's going to be pretty apparent where I have a hard time, or you know, bit easier time gunning for that brilliant victory in 8 turns. And I can check here, it's 55%, a bit more advantage, but yeah, nothing to scoff at. Alright, so Astrakhan, yeah, brilliant victory 8 turns, September 7, so it has not been that much since the last operation. Fair day, it's a day instead of night. Good. Alright, so this is the map. Okay, so I don't know why they actually show you this first of all, but yeah, this is the map, and most of it's clear until we go into this wetland. And this is coastal. I don't know what it has to do with the movement factor that is going to affect the tanks and whatnot, the tracked vehicles and the wheel vehicles, or legs. So yeah, we have a pretty good amount of deployment area right at our disposal, so let's make use of that. I don't think we can bring in a whole lot, but... Okay, so I'm going to bring in the HQ first. I'm going to try something different this time around. It's going to be pretty difficult to, you know, protect it, but with the kind of smaller space that we start out with, maybe you can screen the forces a bit better. So I'm going to bring in... well, I mean, let's bring in some good tanks, just in case that we need to attack right away. I predict that the Russians will bring their biggest and baddest forces on the front lines, just like the last time, so I'm going to be prepared for that. all the leaders are going to be, yeah, the front lines. Of course, they're the leaders. And followed by the, yeah, BRDM2s and the whole load of recons. Helping us north and south. And following that, it's going to be, I mean, it's really nice that they're, kind of give you a hint as to what kind of things to bring first. As you go down the list, it kind of gives you a bit of an idea of how to organize your army. I don't know whether that is something that is relevant or important. So first time, at least, I'm not going to bring in any Tunguskas. Tunguska cost more than this anti-aircraft, anti-airs. And they're the first targets for the floggers and the Sukhoi 27s and the bombers that the Russians bring. And it's going to get destroyed without, I think it's going to fire a shot, but it's going to get destroyed without performing its true service, which is against the helicopters. So these guys will be better suited to be the target, these 110 prestige guys. Not so sure if I want to bring this guy, but I mean, yeah, against, yeah, it's not really that useful. Okay, so these are all helicopter, anti-helicopter guys, and I can probably bring some of these green units. Let's see, I can bring this guy, for example. And after the Russians had their fill and have spent most of their air mission points, then I can bring the good anti-air. So that's my plan, at least. Two engineers will definitely be at the forefront, because the planes do tend to target hard targets, and they're going to, these guys are going to be affected the most. Russian Marines, I will bring him, yeah, also. Let's see. So that's it, I think, for now. Yeah. So artillery still have to come into the battlefield. I don't know. Maybe I should fill this thing up, because after I start out, I think I'm not going to. Maybe this guy, the HQ, is going to help bring in the artillery. Yeah. So let's do that. All right. So we have the screening force right here. Yeah, as it is. Let's see. Let's check. Okay. So it's there. Good. So we have this recon. And we have Strelas, and we have tanks. Now, how much movement does it have? I don't really know. That's the kind of bad thing about it, but I still have a movement to go back to safety. These guys are all hard targets, so I think my artilleries are not going to be very useful, but let's try to bring in our artilleries. Let's see. Yeah, artilleries cannot be brought in. Why is that? Alright, okay, so that is kind of weird. Yeah, that is rather weird. Let's start off with hitting these guys hard. 1 and 6. I wish I could... Oh, okay, so I can bring in... Maybe HQ needs some breathing space. Maybe HQ should move right here. And then I can probably bring in, yes, anti-tanks and whatnot. So anti-tank here. Maybe... yeah, here. And then the good ones, the devastating fire guy. Yeah, these guys all come inside. Come to the HQ. Supporting it. Perhaps, yeah, this might be the next one. Alright. So 4, not bad. And 1, okay. Let's start out with the artillery. 7 and 5, that is very good. Overrun. Very good, indeed. And 1 and 8. What is this? T80U. Okay, so I forgot to check what the make of these tanks are, but they're not that great. Alright, so one more shot left. Still for the devastating fire. I should have brought combat support for this guy, but yeah, that is my mistake. Going to have a heck of time trying to reload this guy. Another tank go up north and overrun this guy. That's not going to happen. Maybe this Metis might be able to help. Right here in the middle, either against this guy. Yeah. That worked better. Yeah. And oh wow, okay, so I cannot destroy it. Alright, no matter, I have few tanks to help my cause here. Yeah, let's kind of pile on. shoot at this guy. Alright, didn't get destroyed. Okay, so this presents a bit of problem, but I will just follow on and destroy it. And oh, okay, so another set of tanks. So this is a job for this scout to see what these guys are all about. TDUs, not that strong, so alright, let's get going with destroying these guys. Alright, so can you do something? Nope, not yet. I have artillery to fire still against this guy. 23. Alright, maybe I should... Yeah, I should really protect these guys, and if I can shoot from there, I think that'll be just dandy. Overrun possible, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a fast tank to overrun this guy from this side. Oh, overrun not possible. Okay, alright. So, engineer, can you do something, or is there a shifty... Yeah, there might be some kind of artillery, but I haven't really seen counter-battery fire, so I'm guessing that doesn't have it yet. But they can definitely travel really far from this area, Chertonbay, to bring in the artilleries and have a shot at our troops, especially the soft targets. So I need to be mindful of that. Okay, so this guy is the prototype. 1 and 3, I guess I can shoot at this guy. Yeah. And bye-bye. I should have come back and overrun it, but yeah, not going to happen. 1 and 8. I think I have 2 more tanks, so yeah. Whoa! Alright, but I lost 2 of my tanks. I think it was a good exchange, but it could have been a bit better. Okay, so let's bring a tank here and see. So this is clear. 5 and 5, yeah, goes away. You can see it's conscript. Yeah, these guys will need to actually maybe cluster around here. And there will be an anti-air somewhere around here. Perhaps here, and one goes to north to cover here. These guys will definitely protect these guys here. And this guy will probably come back. Yeah, and this guy, oh, okay. Yep, need to make a decision there as well. Okay, can I shoot at any of these guys? I can shoot at this guy. Shoot at this guy. Not going to work. Okay. Yeah, let's come back. And this is just for screening our forces and to see something in the south. Everyone can do that, provide a bit of flank. Wish I could be in the forest. This might not be... I hope this is not an artillery. I can probably bring in the mechanized troops for that purpose. So let's do that. Including 2 tanks, that is. Alright. I can overrun this guy. Cool. Yeah. And even shoot at one of these guys. I'm going to lose out a bit. Maybe I should shoot at this guy to see what it is. Just to see what it is. Ah, okay. So it didn't reveal, but I'm sure that this is an attack. And I think this might be an artillery, because it lost a few... Yeah, quite a few troops. All the better, because it's kind of weakened. Alright, so this guy will come south. And BRDM2 provide a bit more screening. And these guys are, yeah, these guys are rather noticeable. I wonder how the Russian air missions identifying all these air or ground units, especially the anti-air, because probably from this vantage point they might not be able to identify it. I don't know, something that is quite elusive or interesting to peel the cover a bit and see the mechanics behind some of this stuff. Alright, so mechanized, or this is just an engineer, yeah, coming along. I think both of them need to go south because of the battles brewing here, so let's do that. I wonder if they have any artilleries here nearby. Maybe I should use air recon to see, you know, just one, and see what they have. Yeah, not much. So they're all congregated. They might come up if this is the artillery and attack us from the south. But that we have to be prepared for. Alright, so let's bring in the rest of the troops, including this guy. Let's bring it to protect the rear, hoping that it's not going to target our guys in the back. And yeah, the rest of it is mechanical troops, mechanized infantry, all these guys. And then Russian, maybe next time, and I'm going to be protecting it. A huge amount of forces here. Alright, I think this is the entirety of, still to be deployed forces. HQ7, well, you stay a bit in the back. I think it has only 2 range. Yeah. DK9, this is a pretty good one, so yeah, I'm not really willing to use it right now. Yeah, let's move on with the artilleries. This guy can go into forest. Not artilleries, mechanized infantry, excuse me. Yeah, let's try to go into the forest. And maybe river, okay. Maybe here. And anybody can move the tanks. Nice. Get some screening around here. Yeah, I can actually provide some screening. Sand, huh? The desert out there. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be checked by the zone of defense unless one of these guys have leaders. I don't think they have any yet. Okay, type 99. Going to here. These are all ADUs, so they're not that scary, but some of them have been augmented, so yeah. Oh, all of them have been augmented. Okay, so yeah, we are facing a pretty decent force after all. I don't know how I didn't catch that. I'm not going to, you know, fret over that. Just want to set up my forces a bit. I mean, every one of these hexes have been occupied and it's kind of confusing to begin with. Let's see, this guy probably in the back. This guy also. Yeah. I think maybe the Russians, I don't know how much of a pretty decent, but I think I can save it later until the next time the HQ moves and then is able to deploy. Same as these two guys. I already deployed, it seems. Okay, including the helicopter. Well, no matter. Alright. Alright, everything has set up nicely. Just seems so complicated. Yeah, the Russians have the same kind of colored tanks. I mean, they do have the same color as Russians, such as this anti-tank, but yeah, they do have the same type of strength indicator. Alright, so let's go for the Russians to attack us, and yeah, I mean, wish me luck here. I think I'm going to be needing it. Yeah, okay, so helicopter, interesting. They're going back, one of them. Ah, the artillery, yeah. They're attacking our infantry. Yeah, but they're hard targets. So fortunately, 22, it's up. Yeah. No, it's not gonna work. Oh my goodness, one got destroyed. Yeah, okay, that's bad, actually. It's pretty bad. They're definitely bringing a huge amount of armored force. Yeah, one tank got destroyed, huh? Couldn't really expect that to happen. I really didn't expect that to happen. And then no Russian air mission. They're trolling me, these Russians.